It's been 40 years since Kill 'Em All and Fistful of Metal. But let's face it, people change and so does their music. Have you listened to Metallica and Anthrax lately? Can you even really say that they are thrash anymore? It's safe to assume they're getting better at projecting a sound as a band. In the studio, they are grown-ass men making music that they like. Are they still into it like 40 years ago? No, that's impossible. But personally, I think Metallica and Anthrax are pointing towards the same style of thrash, which is not really thrash. It's just more mid-pacey. Let me explain. One thing that we're not trying to say is that For All Kings or 72 Seasons are bad albums. They are in fact very listenable records. Catchy? Yes. Maybe mellow at some times? Also yes. But with both bands hitting the basic points of thrash, it's more convenient for them to write Sabbath-y-like riffs than to sound like modern thrash bands. Metallica released 72 Seasons almost 2 years ago, and Anthrax is about to release their follow-up to For All Kings. After 8 years, Anthrax has said all instruments are recorded, but they are still waiting on Joey Belladonna's vocals. Sure, Metallica and Anthrax have different backgrounds, and they've always sounded different, but here's why they are suspiciously almost becoming sort of the same thing. One thing that most people don't like is when bands turn down the aggro, and both Anthrax and Metallica don't sound as aggressive as they used to. When Metallica released Kill 'Em All, it was the first thrash metal album to ever exist. Maybe Bonded by Blood was there also, but that's besides our point. For Anthrax, on the other hand, it's difficult to say how thrash they really were after their debut. Future albums had more hardcore punk, and their deviations to rap metal just make it seem like they were also kind of into thrash metal. But all in all, they played fast thrashing metal even compared to Metallica. Metallica was never a fast band because that was Megadeth's job. But they were fast and unstoppable with Cliff Burton. Metallica's finest moments have always felt real, and in albums like Master of Puppets, they made for some cathartic songs. Unlike the more operatic style of Joey Belladonna, James Hetfield's vocals have always just seemed and felt more natural. One thing you must appreciate is their simplicity. When I think about Anthrax or Metallica, death and doom aren't what come to mind. Energy, speed, and intensity are what describe these bands. Whether it's the Anthrax humor or Metallica's philosophy on war and mental health, they can still relate to a large amount of people, even in these modern times. Also, their lack of morality on political subjects through their songs is quite refreshing. But in a way, it's giving generic heavy metal with average rock music vibes. Both 72 Seasons and For All Kings are great albums. They write for themselves, but the bands are just losing some of that intensity. Again, people change, things get replaced, and minds are shifted to other goals. So in a way, it's not fair at all for fans to blame bands for not living in the past. Art is progressive. Let me know what you think about this topic, and don't forget to watch this other video appearing on your screen. And stay heavy.